It's time for City Beat, your source for all the latest news on the city of Thompson. Only on 102.9 CHTM, your radio station.
Good morning and welcome to City Beat here on 102.9 CHTM. I'm Monika Gul and joining me today is Deputy Mayor Penny Byer. Welcome to the studio.
Good to see you this morning.
So I just want to remind listeners that we will take your questions at 677-8181, or you can also email chtm@arcticradio.ca to start things off. What's been happening this past week?
Well, first of all, I want to explain Mayor Fenske is in Winnipeg with some representatives from Valley. They're attending a Manitoba Chamber of Commerce event. And Dennis's purpose is he's bringing greetings on behalf of Thompson, but he's also explaining our place branding process. The process has won a national award. And interestingly enough, yesterday at the Thompson Chamber of Commerce meeting, Don Sands, our communications officer, also did a PowerPoint presentation on the process, how we got to where we are, and what the branding stands for, and what we expect it to do over the course of the next several years.
Yeah, she did. I was there. And I know Mayor Fenske actually spoke today. I'm not sure if by any chance you knew maybe what sort of things he was planning to focus on when he was going to be talking to everyone, or, I guess sort of the game plan there.
You mean for the branding?
Yeah, well, so for him, from what I understood, he was speaking to the people who attended the event today, or?
No, today he's in Winnipeg with the Manitoba Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
And so that's where he'll be speaking on the place branding there. So he'll get a much broader audience, which is good for Thompson. The more large-scale exposure we get, provincial, national, the better for us, especially if it's our message that they're hearing, the message that we choose for them to hear.
Okay, perfect. Is there anything else that happened this past week that you wanted to mention?
Well, yes. One of the things that you might have noticed on Thompson Drive, close to the library, there's solar panels on the crosswalks there.
Yes.
And as I understand it, everything is in place. It just has to be the final connections made. So that will be in operation, from my understanding, in a matter of days, which makes me very happy because for a long time people have discussed that corner. There have been several accidents, so now there'll be a safer way for people to cross the street there. I want to bring up something about safety. We had an incident a couple of days ago where one of our ambulances was attending to an emergency. They had their lights and sirens on, but they were struck by another vehicle. And I just want to remind people that when you hear the siren or see the lights flashing, slow down, pull over, stop, whatever you have to do to give that ambulance the right of way, because it could mean life or death for somebody else. So I just wanted to throw that out there while we're talking about safety.
Sure.
One of the things that has worked well, we got some feedback from the school district, is we have the free transit program for students who are going to school. They get a free bus ride in the morning to school and home at the end of the day, and they'll be providing us with some statistics. But they say there's a significant improvement in school attendance right across the board in all schools.
With the free public transportation?
With the free public transportation. Because some mornings, like today, it's a rather fresh day today, that might cause some people to stay home. So
from what I've heard, they're planning to extend it to February and March. Do you know if that's going to be for sure?
Yes, we've discussed that, and actually later today, I believe it's at 5:00. We have quarterly meetings with the school district, and there's always several things on the agenda. That will be one of the things, and we cover a lot of topics at those meetings, everything from infrastructure, the multi-use pathways, to the free transit, to the swim programs at Norplex Pool, all of those things. So we cover off as many topics as we can. So that's something we'll be able to report on in detail next week, because that meeting's happening today.
Perfect. And we actually have a caller right now. Randy, hello, you're on City Beat.
Hi, good morning, ladies.
Hi, what's your question for Deputy Mayor Penny Byer?
Well, I got a question. It's about the snowbanks around town here. You guys said you guys had an accident with the ambulance, and the reason is because of the snowbanks are too high on the corners. And by McDonald's there's a snowbank that's piled high. You can't even see the people walk by onto the street, and people are slamming their brakes on because the snowbank is so high around the corners. That's why your ambulance probably got in an accident.
Okay, can you comment on that?
Yeah, Randy, I don't know if you've noticed the crews are out. Public Works has been out removing snowbanks from a number of boulevards. I will bring that intersection to their attention, and I want to thank you for that suggestion as one way that we can improve our traffic safety.
Okay, and I guess
Did you, if you want me to get back to you, Randy, I'll have to ask you to leave me a phone number. Oh, he's gone? Okay. All right.
Okay, well, thank you for your call, Randy. So then, yeah, so as you're saying, currently crews are removing snowbanks around the city?
Yeah, last night, I don't know what time it was, about 9 o'clock, between they were working between the turnoff into UCN and Westwood Drive,
Okay.
and so they've got their big loaders lifting the snow, dumping it into the trucks and hauling it away. So that's a time-consuming process because
For
it takes
sure.
a while for the trucks to go back and forth, but...
Okay, and we also actually have another caller. Gordon, hello, you're on City Beat.
Yeah, good morning, Monica and Penny. They got cold weather testing going on at the airport. I was wondering which companies come up, or is it mostly car companies? That's an important industry for Thompson. And how long do they stay till spring? Or thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm just writing your question down, just so I can... The length of time they stay varies. It depends on what it is they're testing and whether the weather's cooperating for them. Some will only be up here for 2 weeks. Some will be here for 2 months. I don't know specifically who's here this year. I can tell you some of the people who tend to come on a regular basis include Honda. We've had Bell Helicopter in the past. We've had a number of people coming up. But again, the length of time they stay really depends on what they're testing for and, again, whether the weather cooperates. I think we've been pretty cooperative this year.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for your call, Gordon. Now, I guess to move things in a different direction, I guess one thing that I've noticed across the city is some street closures. There was one at the intersection of Thompson Drive and Mystery Lake Road, and another one at Cree Road and Thompson Drive South. Would you be able to maybe talk about what sort of work was being done there that needed the road to be completely closed?
In both cases, it had to do with water mains, and I'm not sure about the one on Thompson Drive and Selkirk by Robbins there.
There was one, the Mystery Lake Road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they were waiting to be able to bring some equipment in on that one. But the one that was on Cree Road and Thompson Drive South, that was a special problem, that one. And they were finding debris. They were finding things that really didn't belong in the line.
Right.
So besides having to clear it, they had to wait a period of time and test and make sure that they had cleared the debris out of there before they can fix it properly. I'm not sure what the repair process requires,
Right.
but it was not your normal repair, basically.
Okay, and I guess both of those are now done? People can drive through those intersections?
They can drive through the intersections, and as far as I know, they are repaired.
Okay, perfect. And also another thing I wanted to talk about a bit is about the, I guess, policing report that was presented to council during the last council meeting from Constable Tunian, and it showed that many areas of crime are actually on the decline. So I was wondering if you could maybe just talk about what sort of programs council thinks that might be attributing to this decrease that we've seen.
Well, there's a lot of things, actually.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can think of them all. I think one thing is the cold weather policy that we have that allows people a place to stay if the homeless shelter is filled. I think that has made a difference. I think the fact that we have our Project Northern Doorway, we have had some success there. People are making different choices. Some are working, and I think that has made a difference. The fact that we have a lot of agencies working together to deal with people in a proactive and in a way to help people move forward with their lives, I think that has made a difference. For sure, I think our bylaw officers and the ambassador program makes a difference just because you have a presence, you have somebody who can speak to people, and bottom line is our RCMP are just doing a fabulous job. I think that has to be our bottom line. They are very diligent. They put a lot of time into and care into what they're doing. And whenever we see an anomaly, something in the statistics changing, they're on it right away. So.
Okay, perfect. And I know also Constable Tunian mentioned sort of priorities that the Thompson RCMP and City Council sort of come together and they set sort of priorities. Will Council be meeting again for this year and setting some of those priorities?
Yeah, that will start through the Public Safety Committee. That process will start there, and then it'll come forward to Council.
Okay, perfect. And I guess, do you guys have sort of any ideas already on what the focus would be for this year? Will it just be continuing from last year, or?
We haven't formalized because we haven't gone through the process, but I know in discussions, we're looking forward to the community safety officers to continue the work and actually improve the work even further, because they'll be able to take on some of the responsibilities of the RCMP. They won't be RCMP officers, but they will be empowered through legislation to do certain things to assist so that the RCMP can spend more time on actual crime. So we think that will help tremendously. So I think you'll see a lot of our focus will be around the powers that the community safety officers will have. And we've been speaking with the Manitoba Justice, working towards that. We are really hopeful that we can get our community safety officers in place for May.
Okay,
May long
perfect.
Weekend, yeah.
So that's when people can expect that? Great. And then also Expo North is coming back to Thompson in February. I guess quickly, I know last year the city sent employees to participate. Do you know if the city will be doing that again?
I believe that's in our plan to do that again this year. We were talking about it the other night on a casual basis, and we're really excited to have this come back. It's good for not just city employees, it's good for other employers in Thompson to be able to provide training for their employees. It exposes more of the construction industry to Thompson and just helps make our city look much more attractive for investment in general. So it's a good
yeah,
conference.
And I believe that's happening end of February. I believe February 23rd, if I am not mistaken.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well then to wrap things up, any things you wanted to mention that's happening this week in the city?
Well, there's a few things. We have council meeting on Monday at 7 o'clock, and it's the second reading of the school speed zone bylaw, so I think we'll probably have a lot of people in attendance for that. I just want to remind people that the local organizing committee for the hometown hockey, which is March 6th to the 8th, they're working hard. That's the Calgary Flames and Ottawa are playing with Ron McLean Broadcasting. This is really significant for Thompson. It puts us on the map on a national basis, and so we really want to put our best face forward. So in conjunction with hometown hockey, we're holding Winterfest that weekend, so there'll be events there as well. And I just want people to know that the budget process is still underway. We're probably 2/3 through it. Once we finish our discussions, we'll be taking everything out for public meetings, and we'll hopefully be able to publicize those well and get better attendance than what we've had in the past, because public input is important. So we don't have dates yet because we don't have it finalized, but once the public has had input and provided feedback, and of course city employees, we'll finalize it by passing it at council, and then it goes to the province to meet their deadlines and requirements.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for joining me today, Deputy Mayor Penny Byer. Join us every Thursday around 11:30 for more on what's happening around Thompson and City Hall. For 102.9 CHTM, I'm Monika Gul.
City